This video shares how I make my surprise inside galaxy cake with boxed cake mix. Stay for this galactic birthday cake, and I'll show you the math later. Hello, I'm Roxy, and welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, my passion is helping you make sweet treats. Because adults need cute things too. Bright, fun, and even rainbow colored. I've made a bunch of other galaxy cakes. But since then, I've gotten a bunch of questions from viewers. In this video, I will 1. Answer those questions, 2. Show you how I attempted a $10 cake. I start by making the cake planets. Let's get into it. For this cake, I start with 1 box of white cake mix according to the instruction. I used water, but usually substitute with milk. I regretted not doing it this time around. I eyeball and divide the batter into 6. And then I mix the colors one at a time. I add white batter to a bowl, add color, in this case pink, and mix, mix, mix. And remember to be conservative with color. It's always easier to add than remove. I add additional batter to the colored cake batter and keep mixing. Pink, orange, pink plus yellow, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink plus blue. It's almost making rainbow. This is my handy trick for getting the most even color distribution throughout the batter. I'm going to take you a little more on my journey so you know why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting. So for the first batch, I start to distribute the batter to the molds in different patterns. Dots and side dots to make a rainbow. Stripey type things, which kind of wasn't stripes because box cake mix is a lot waterier than my white cake mix. 2 tones. Once everything is distributed, I bang gently to get out any huge air bubbles. Bang, bang, bang. I find it's easiest to transfer this on a baking sheet. Tip: when you're baking and you want to check if your batter is done and you use a skewer, it's okay to have 5 crumbs on that skewer. The batter continues cooking a little when you take it out. Tip time: do not peel the cake halves while they're warm. Regrets for being impatient. So I go to the next round of planets. This time I oil the cake molds. And this is in case it could help me bypass freezing the cake balls. I fill the cake spheres 2/3 of the way since I know it's going to rise up while baking based on the first batch. The cake molds have half spheres that are just over 1.5 inches. Now bake them. These are baked in completely cooled. They're already round, so there's the potential to use them this way, but some of them peel. Womp womp. Closer. This batch, I do not oil the molds. I fill the half spheres 2/3 of the way since cake mix rises a lot. I bake these, and when they're complete, there are just a couple crumbs left on the skewer because they're so small. All recipe details on my blog. I do this because if I learn something, I can change it there, but I can't retroactively change it in this video. Here they are, all baked and frozen for at least an hour. Beautiful. Perfect. I replicated this process 5 times and it worked perfectly each time. No time for more tests. I go ahead and trim them. Now I make the space. For the space part of the cake, I use 1 box of Devil's Food cake mix. Chocolate cake works too. I add a little black food color, like a toothpick's worth to get a darker color. This is definitely optional. Line 3 6-inch cake pans. The top and bottom of the cake are represented by an X. Imagine 2 of the cake pans are the top and bottom of the cake. Those are the X's. Make sure the X is not touching the batter. In the top and bottom, I place cake ball halves. These are the planets that extend into space. Now I add cake batter. Tip: do not add the batter in all at once. It really needs to be added in stages, especially because this is boxed cake mix, so all of the cake balls don't start floating to the top. Now I add the cake balls, not just cake halves, that have been pressed together. Then I press cake halves around the edges. Add more batter and spread out. The center cake will only have full planets. Add batter, add whole planets. By the way, since these cake balls have been baked, they won't expand anymore. And add halves to the sides. And I prefer not to grease the sides, so the cake batter has something to latch onto and climb as it bakes, because I love a tall and fluffy cake. Spread out the cake batter with an angled spatula. I make sure to bang those pans to get out those extra large air bubbles. Bang, bang, bang. Now, after distributing, I did realize I needed a second box of dark cake batter. I bake these, and when they're complete, there are about 5 crumbs left on the skewer. I made notes on my frequently asked questions. 1. Do I need to peel off any brown from the outside of the Planet Cake balls? No. Once you slice the cake, you don't see any of the brown against the dark cake. 2. Are the balls dry when you double bake? No, they don't. I haven't experienced that my planets get dry. If your planets are dry, it's likely that you've cooked your cake for too long. Science isn't exactly my thing, but I think osmosis is the best way to explain why this cake shouldn't get dry. A process by which molecules of a solvent tend to pass through a semi-permeable membrane from a less concentrated solution into a more concentrated one, thus equalizing the concentration on each side. Found the definition on Oxford's dictionary, but learned it in school. Since the outside batter is moist and it equalizes, it shouldn't get dry. 3. What are the other ways to keep this cake moist? This answer is 2 parts. Make the cake at least the day before decorating it, wrap it, and freeze it. This keeps the cake moist and helps develop it, whether it's from scratch or it's cake mix. When decorating, you could use milk or simple syrup to lightly soak the cake. Now, let's do the math. If you decide to use 1 cake pan, this project can come in at $9.91. So as of filming today, half-sphere silicone mold I found at the dollar store for $1. Planet Cake Mix, $1.19 from Target. Food color set, $2.99 from Target. Space Cake Mix, 99 cents times 2 from Target. Black food color paste, $1.75 from Walmart. Cake pans from a restaurant supply store, $1.99 times 3. And the total is $14.88. Not bad for such a lofty goal. By the way, all of this comfortably makes 4 6-inch cake layers. But I noticed that a lot of people prefer to make a 2 or 3 layer cake. But me, I just love a 5-layer 5-inch cake. Who knows? I don't know. Here's a finished cake layer. As you can see, the space cake continues to cover and eat up the cake balls. And after the cake is cooled, it's time to decorate. This isn't that type of video, but if you want, hit that bell notification for plenty more decorated Galaxy cakes. Well, OMG, Galaxy Inside Cake success. I do have a from scratch Galaxy surprise cake video. If you're interested in more surprise inside cakes, here's a rocket ship cake video. Coming up is a dessert recipe playlist that I am always adding videos to. Thanks for hanging with me. By the way, all of this comfortably makes 4 6-inch cake layers. I prefer not to grease the sides of the cake pans